And a very good morning. It's Mark here. Let's just get the US dollar index, our usual starting point. There we go. Hi, Mark here. It is Friday, February the 7th. It's 8 a.m. Eastern. That's 1 p.m. GMT. A lot going on, a lot to look forward to today. Reason for that being the very significant, very important non-farm payroll, which is being released in half and 30 minutes from now. That's the job numbers out of the US, and they have a marked and definite effect on the performance of the markets, particularly the US dollar index. Last month, the job numbers were way higher than consensus. They came in at 256,000 new jobs, and the market reacted accordingly. Today, consensus is 154,000 new jobs. And why I think it's so relevant is going into today, we've had this big sell-off in the US dollar index. There it is, all the way from that 109 all the way down to 107, sitting now at mid 107 area. And added to the fundamentals which move the market, we have technically our moving averages kind of come together, showing some uncertainty. And the biggest mover of all being sentiment. Sentiment is, I believe, what drives and moves the market. And that's why I believe that if we get a lower than consensus number, anything out of the accepted or consensus range, and sentiment certainly being and bias being down on the US dollar at the moment over this past week, I think that could be the impetus for a push a lot lower. Let's wait and see. Let's have a look at the S&P. And the S&P sitting right now, it's pre-market trading. Wall Street opens up an hour after the non-farm payroll, which is a good thing in terms of let's see how the US dollar reacts to the data, to the non-farm payroll. It'll be an hour until after the release that Wall Street opens. And I believe that the S&P will take its cue from the US dollar index. We know we've had certainly this week an inverse relationship, again, opposite directions. So we can see how that plays out once we've seen the US dollar index numbers. It's been strong this week. 6,100 is the resistance that buyers are looking to break above. Should it go the other way, of course, sellers will look down at that 6,000 pivotal level. Oil. Sorry, before don't want to mix up our usual sequence. Starting off on gold, maybe thrown off a little bit because not used to seeing a red candlestick on gold on the daily charts. Took a bit of a breather yesterday, some profit taking all the way down to 2,835. Buyers stepped in and closed the day at 2,857, sitting in that area right now. And again, I believe gold will take its cue from the performance of the US dollar index. Should US dollar weaken following the non-farm payroll today, I certainly think that would be the impetus for gold to go up and test and challenge the resistance at 2,870, 2,881, perhaps even higher. And in the opposite direction to the strong gold that we see on the charts, very strong downtrend on oil since middle of January, above $80. Have a look now. Support at $74. Buyers occasionally do look to step in and guard that the area, the support, all the new supports being made, unable to successfully. It's yearly lows at the $74. Buyers stepped in just that little bit, unable to make a dent, and it's going to take a real reversal, and I believe it'll be fundamental sentiment, geopolitical events, something to turn this around. But at the moment, sellers are in complete control and possibly even looking for lower numbers around $72 and the $70 level. Let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I drew in this triangle, illustrating how price action is definitely hanging around the bottom of this triangle, looking to test perhaps the bottom of the triangle being the ascending trend line. And that would take it to below 95,000 to the low 90,000 level, 90, 91, 92,000. But what we have seen is at that level, there is demand, buyers step in and push it all the way up. At some point, can sellers break below the low 90s? We'll watch and see if sellers can get to that, whereas buyers are looking at this point just to get back above that 100,000, the pivotal 100,000 mark, and make its way back to 102 on the way to the 105, 106,000 on the upside. Good trading, guys, and I'll see you at the end of day.